How you doing? I'm just calling to. I checked the mail receipts and they said that you received my mail on last Friday.
I don't have it yet. There's a process it goes through before it actually comes to our office. I haven't checked the mail today, but I know as of yesterday, COB, it wasn't here yet.
All right. Can I ask you? You have my address, correct?
I'm sure it's written down, so it's probably in the email. It's got to be an email.
Have you gotten the emails from me?
Yeah, I have seen the emails you've been sending. Yes.
All right. What I want to do is I want to file a formal whistleblower's application, and I need it from the Department of Justice because the state's attorney wouldn't give it to me, Bernstein wouldn't give it to me, Schellenberger wouldn't give it to me, the city solicitor wouldn't give it to me, and Rod Rosenstein wouldn't give it to me. Alan Locks wouldn't give it to me, and I need to file a whistleblower's application formally because I filed some in the past with the Department of Justice and the FBI in Baltimore City, and I'm not received any protections. You know what I'm saying? So, if you don't mind, could you send me an application?
Sure, I can look one up and send it on over to you.
All right.
What I can do actually, I need to, because I have someone here who's actually been working on Baltimore cases.
Right.
I could forward you to her, and she could be of some additional assistance to you as well.
Oh, that would be. I kind of like you, but I'll take her. Cause you've been very kind. You've been open and forthwith. You know what I'm saying? You haven't been treating me like another number. You treated me like a person.
Right.
You know.
Right.
And I only ran across your number because of Miss Holloman's case with the murdered family members of Baltimore City Police Department, where they killed people's sons, mothers of murdered.
Oh, yeah, I think I talked to her.
Right, Miss Holloman.
I spoke to her too.
Right. Well, that's how I got your number. So
okay.
And Commissioner Batts and that information I mailed to you, Commissioner Batts had an open investigation, but they threw all the material away the same way that Rod Rosenstein and Alan Locks did. It's like they're trying to block me from getting this information to the hierarchy of the department. You can't claim that you're a civil rights department of the civil rights, but you don't take any of the cases that are brung to you. You know?
Right, I too busy. That's what it is. That's the excuse they give. Too busy.
Yeah, but Alan Locks told me specifically when we came into his office that they were just going to throw our material into a black box. He didn't say he was going to destroy the material. That material was evidence, and it was supposed to have been kept and maintained for that purpose. So he wasn't really doing his job.
Right.
So now that I got Mr. Davis, and Mr. Davis is supposed to be investigating Baltimore City Police Department, Commissioner Belfield and Bat's office, I definitely want to stay in touch with him directly. I want the material that the commissioner and the mayor destroyed reproduced to the department, so that we're kept abreast of everything that's going on. You understand?
Yeah.
So you can give me her, if you got my email, could you email? You can email me that information. So I know that you got the material, and since we do have the email confirmation and this email is valid and they haven't cut me off, I'm gonna email you the material that Alan Locks and other stuff that I sent to the FBI. Matter of fact, I got recorded phone calls to the FBI after Commissioner Batts sent 12 police officers to my house. Alright? They threatened me and tried to intimidate me. They put guns to my head. This was at the order of Commissioner Batts and Gov.O'Malley. I don't know if you're familiar with a case about Governor... I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but he was the governor of the state of Indiana back in the 1920s, and he was arrested and prosecuted because he killed an immigrant that he raped back in the 20s. And when he got caught, like Governor O'Malley, well, like I'm trying to do Governor O'Malley, he turned on the politicians and the public officials that were committing this fraud and corruption in the courts and denying people their rights. So I just took the blueprint from that case and used it on the Baltimore people, and it turned out. When I find his name, I'll remember it. But could you just send me the application for the whistleblower? I'll keep sending you emails so we have like they did Kwame Kilpatrick with the emails.
Right, a chain.
Yeah, I want to keep a chain of emails in touch directly with Mr. Davis, so that when I say what I say, I can't be sued for libel or defamation of character or locked up again because I'm a whistleblower.
Right.
You can't keep locking up whistleblowers. And I have a case with the Department of Justice, FBI department, from 1994-95, where I blew the whistle on TMP Engineering. They committed fraud against the FBI. I was the project manager at the Wanamaker building in Pittsburgh, and I turned them in for fraud and corruption. So I know that I'm supposed to have access to the grand jury. I know I'm supposed to be able to testify, but I can't testify if Rod Rosenstein and Alan Locks keep blocking my testimony or blocking my path to the grand jury. I know I'm entitled to this because when Eric Holder spoke about illegal conversion of citizens' property, the truck, the computer, and all my property was taken on February the 11th. And this property and evidence was directly exposing the corruption in the courts and the prison industry. It named the benefactors, the people getting paid. And since I'm a caterer, I know who contributed to Governor O'Malley, Mayor Stephanie Rawlins Blake. So they're using Commissioner Bass to protect their crime entity. It's just like the investigations that y'all did in Chicago against Mayor Daley, and he was insulated because he had so many ties into the Department of Justice, like when he hired Mr. Webb from the FBI to be his chief of staff. You know, that shut down a lot of investigations that were going on, and that same practice is going on here in Baltimore, and I showed it. So, man, I just wish I knew his name. I just want my justice. I want my life back. I'm homeless. I was used to making like $300,000 a year. Now I'm next to begging on the streets, and that ain't right. I need my life back, and I need my standing in the community back. One of the materials that I sent y'all is a DVD. I sent y'all about November. It's a long, it was like a poster board, like you would have a breakdown of everything. I sent it to y'all, and I just seen that y'all received that as well. That was part of the email. That was part of the certified mail receipts that I read off to you. That was one of them. So if you search those certified mail receipts, you'll see them. And the email to Alan Locke's office, he told me he's not going to accept no more of my emails because he knew I was trying to entrap him. You know what I'm saying? I was going to use the system against the system, the way it's supposed to be used. And the same thing with the FBI in Baltimore on Lord Baltimore Street. I turned in evidence, and they refused to give me the evidence back. And it broke down the prison industry. It named the judges, the lawyers, it named the cases, it named the people involved, and it showed how the media knowingly misled the public. So I definitely want to stay in touch with you. I appreciate you, what you're doing for me, and you can send me the lady's information on the email, and I will definitely be filling you up with all the information.
I'll transfer you right now, so you can talk to her right now.
All right, thank you.
Okay, hold on a minute.